So I was given this, well, you can't see it, but it's called Mind Changer, and it's actually was given to me. It is in a, I think this is a 2-gallon pot, and it is dying, or it's on the verge of death. So my goal is to try to revive it and give it some light and some life. Because when you grow irises in the pot, and my thing broke. Gotta go find a new one. Just don't have time, so I'm just gonna use what I have. So when you grow things in a pot, and this happens to me too, chances are what happened is that the rhizomes will get over water, not enough light, and it will die. It will get tiny and it will die. So this little guy here was given to me, and he is littler than my thumb, and as you can see, there's rotting happening to him, and he's barely living his life here. And this is very sad, actually. So instead of giving him a funeral, I'm gonna give him another home, my house. I'm gonna put him into another pot, just with better soil, and I'm gonna put him in a shade. Put him in a shaded area, and hopefully he will live for me. When they're weak, when the rhizomes are super duper weak, and when you try to repot them or whatever, you want to make sure you want to monitor them for once, and you also make sure that they like their environment and not too much sun. So morning sun is fine. Morning sun is fine, but not too much direct sun, because this little guy could eventually die on you. And I'm going to put him in a smaller container, smaller pot, because I wanted to monitor him. And generally I would put it inside my house on the windowsill and take him out and nurture him until he's back into health. But it's okay to grow your irises in pots, but you have to pay attention, because what happened is this little guy was struggling to live, because number one, he might be over water. Number two, he might be he might have rot, and when he get rotting, he's gonna eventually die. So you don't want him to just disappear from the planet Earth. So I'm gonna pause the video, and I'm gonna show you what I will be doing with him, and that way you can hopefully save the irises too, later on, when it's your turn to save some irises and plant. Because at the end of the day, we want to make sure that these flowers survive, and we're doing everything we can to help them survive. With that being said, I have a bunch of these Chinese broccoli growing everywhere. I did grow them once, but they just are everywhere. That's probably because they like, I don't know, they like whatchamacallit, my soil, and they propagate so well. But aside from that, now I treat them like weeds, because I honestly have too many of them. Now, going back to this, let's get some smaller container. Let's make some soil, and let's see what we can do. Hopefully we can save this guy named Mind Changer. So you might want to know that at the bottom of this pot, it's a lot of perlite, and this is potting soil. And basically I am going to plant it in here. When you might thinking, why in the world was he in a bigger pot, now you're putting him in a tinier pot? Well, number one is to monitor. Number two is to make it to where it's easy for me to have access to him in case if I have to, like I mentioned, carry this iris in and out for it to have enough sunlight. So that's the reason why I put it into a smaller pot, easier, lighter for me to carry. What I'm going to also do is I am going to, the perlite at the very bottom of the potting soil, it's actually allowing for drainage and also give it a little bit of nutrients, but I did not mix it in. Normally I would mix it in, but as of right now I want to make sure that this rhizome is have enough potting soil and have enough nutrients for it to grow. So I'm gonna not put it, I will not put it in direct sunlight because I don't want it to die. I will give it morning sunlight, and basically I will keep it around for till it roots and get healthy again. I have these fuchsias here, and they are like these are beautiful. So these are very, very frost. If it's get very, it cannot be grow in like if it freeze or whatever, it will actually die. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start a lot of rootings of these particular flowers, lantern flowers. You can grow this indoor next to the window. It like filter lights. So if you want any of my cuttings, and this part up here, this is a seed pod. If you want any, I can send you either the seeds or the cuttings of these fuchsias that I have here. I have been propagating a few of these already for myself, my friend, and whatnot. I bought one plant, and one plant will become hundreds of plants. As you can see, not only that the flowers go to seeds, that green part is a seed pod, but this can also grow or be rooted by cuttings. So I have a few cuttings starting to root, and I have seed pods coming because obviously my plant has flower. So if you are interested in these fuchsias, whether you're interested in the seeds or the cutting, please reach out to me and let me know so I can get them ready for you. And in the meantime, stay tuned to make sure if we can save this little guy. I'm actually praying that I can, because Mind Changer, it's a beautiful iris, and you can look it up online.